Welcome to Mortgages and More, your go-to podcast for the latest insights in the mortgage industry. Join us as we dive into expert advice, unveil actionable tips, and learn how to empower the next generation of homebuyers. Get ready to elevate your knowledge and make those property dreams a reality. Let's get started.
Guess who?
Back.
We're back. That's right, with another installment of our now 84 and 84, however many people we keep adding on to this incredible project. But we are back with another 8-minute message from one of our incredible contributors. Brian, who do we have with us today?
Yeah, so when we first started this project, Kyle, we were kind of thinking through the landscape of, different areas of expertise that we wanted to make sure were addressed in this book, which is all about helping loan officers think about what they should be doing to really be ready for the next generation home buyer.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And I've had the great fortune, frankly, to meet Kelly. I don't know, like 2 years ago, something like that. And it turns out I've already known Kelly because I've seen what she's done at other big companies. And so that was you, Kelly, you were right on my list early on. We're super excited. We're honored that you said yes. It took a little bit of arm twisting, I think, but we got you there. But we're excited to have you kind of tease out today what your chapter in our book is all about. So without giving it away, because I keep saying this, we want people to click the button in Amazon. What can the reader expect from Kelly Yale? And that's a loaded question, by the way.
It really is. Well, first of all, I was really grateful to be asked to be part of the project. And I was very excited to see that my assigned chapter was the future of the mortgage originator. Because I think that's probably been my passion for the past decade, is really thinking about where does the road lead for these originators, and how do we find ways to really automate their best intentions and not have them stuck in the gears of the business, and instead being able to truly take the technology that's currently available, the marketing that's available, and really build this incredible pathway for the next few years using those tools, but not being stuck in sort of the details of their business. And so that I really talk a lot in my chapter about ways that the loan officer can easily sort of understand where technology is taking us and their role within that, and how to balance those two things to have a really successful 2024.
So important. And that, technology in our business used to be synonymous with loan origination system, kind of more the technical aspects of technology. And today, we're on a platform, StreamYard, which is technology. And so I think it's such a timely message. And as we really sought with this book and with this podcast, we're really seeking to help people rethink what it means to be a next generation loan officer. And that's not just about the technical aspects of originating a loan. It's everything that you do months up the funnel to get in front of prospective realtors and consumers. So your expertise and experience in doing this at scale is going to be so valuable for the reader. And I know that you've got 23 more chapters in you, and we asked you to write one. What is something that you're uber passionate about that didn't make it in your chapter that you feel is super important for this loan officer, the loan officer that's seeking to be better? What should they be thinking about that didn't make the chapter?
I touch on it very briefly, but anyone who knows me knows I am a data fanatic. And there is so much data intelligence that's available to loan officers right now. And you talk about the funnel, right? You talk about the people who are in your database. And when you think about putting every single person you ever encounter into that database and creating basically an avatar of that human being, and not only looking at them as what is my relationship to this person who absolutely has the ability to become a customer at some point, but how do I make sure I have a strategy and a communication plan for when this person's going to need me? How am I talking to them about how I can benefit their life? But when we hear data and, you just said technology, it's the same thing, right? We hear data, database. We kind of get overwhelmed by that, or people will say, oh, I've got a huge database. And you say, listen, a database for 2024, right? It's got to be scrubbed. It's got to be every single person in your life. And you've got to make your sphere this incredible thing, because social media, incredibly important. But what then? What happens next? You meet someone, they're checking you out at a grocery store, and they say they're going to be buying a home, right? How do you take that person and make 5 different deals come in the next 20 years from that human being? And we tend to shy away from sort of building our sphere like that, but I don't think that we should. In fact, I say we should completely embrace every person we encounter and come up with a strategy for making that person's life better by knowing us. And how we add that value is everything to the future of where I think the industry is going.
Whoa.
It's good.
I mean, I've got a bazillion thoughts kind of bubbling through here. I'd love your thoughts on. I think that the traditional database is really thought of as my CRM. Hopefully, for some people, it's like an Excel spreadsheet, right?
Yes.
But let's at least hope that someone that's watching our little episode today is operating within a CRM. But isn't your social platform, whether it's Instagram or TikTok or LinkedIn, isn't that also your database?
It can be, right? So it all depends on what relationship you're curating with that individual, right? So if you've been working, say, LinkedIn, and you're trying to get involved and really in front of a lot of different real estate agents, and you start some conversations, right? The thing I believe about data is it's every bit as important as segmenting said data, right? So here I have, 50 realtors who I've been talking to on LinkedIn who aren't giving me any leads. Well, that's a segment of my data. And I know that I need to come up with the right communication journey to make sure that relationship turns into one loan, which turns into many loans in the future. And making sure that you can do that and having a strategy to do that is what's so important. You may be consumer facing on Instagram, right? You may be talking to customers all the time. Well, when they start asking you questions and getting involved with you, how do you put that person in the correct strategy and communication journey that when they think about mortgages, basically you're synonymous with a mortgage, right? And so you have data everywhere. You have data in so many different places. But my thought process around people who are truly part of your database are people who you communicated with in some way, because we don't want to spam. We don't want to, we don't want to be annoying, but instead we want to say, how do we take an introduction and create a relationship? And how do we take a relationship and create meaning and business from that? And how do we show that person long-term commitment and value to the building equity into their future? If you can do that, if that's the cycle, you're golden.
So good.
I can't wait. I can't wait for people to read the chapter.
I will admit I'm not the greatest with data. I've always called myself I'm just not a data guy. But Kelly, you're causing me. What is happening right now?
There's balloons flying.
You're already causing me to go, gosh, I'm probably leaving so much on the table by not understanding the data at a greater depth and then applying it to what I'm doing. And so I can't wait personally. I don't care what anybody else thinks. I can't wait to read your chapter and just be better at what I know I'm weak at. And I hope I'm not different from a lot of people that need to invest in what you're so incredibly gifted at. And so we just can't thank you enough for being a part of this with us. We're honored to have you. Guys, you know what I'm about to say.
Time's up.
Time is up, and we will see you tomorrow.
Thanks, Cal.
Thank you.